It has been a rough few days for the pitching staff of the Green and Gold. 38 runs given up in the last 3 games has Bob Melvin and the boys frustrated and eager to get back in the win column. The game of baseball can be tough at times, but with a new game almost every day, things can turn around quickly. With a victory today and an off day tomorrow, the A's can look to regroup and leave this bad stretch of baseball behind them. Final game of the 3-game set from Fenway is next. It's a beautiful night for baseball at Fenway Park in Boston. It's the 3rd and final game of this series. He's trying to salvage a game in this series, and it'll be up to the left-hander Eric Surkamp, just brought up from the minor league. So it'll be the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox coming up, and you'll see it right here on CSN California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. The A's have lost 4 in a row, and right now they're in one of the toughest stretches, really, that we've ever seen for this pitching staff. It has just been a tough go, and really that middle part, starting pitchers, their ERA just a little over 8 in their last 17 games, and when Sonny Gray isn't pitching well, well, then you know you're in trouble. So, Ray, something's got to change, and maybe it starts tonight with the left-hander Eric Surkamp.
Come on, Eric, because he's facing a ball club that's playing very well, but Eric Surkamp has to be very happy. He started the season with the ball club. He made the start in Seattle. He has a no decision in that one. He's 0-2, facing the Red Sox as a starter for the first time. But I look at this as a great opportunity for him to get the call back, especially the pitch here at Fenway Park. If he does well, could really make it very nice for him.
Now, Hanley Ramirez is in his second year here with the Red Sox, right? He looks much more comfortable this year after signing that big contract a couple years ago. He's playing first base, and listen, he is a major threat offensively because he can hit.
I think the comfort zone for him is playing first base. We saw him last night just crush the ball. He's a designated hitter last night. Big Poppy back in the lineup tonight, so he's at first base. But Ramirez just crushed the ball to left center, way up high on the light tires. And then something he'd been working on during batting practice, and that is hitting the ball to the right side. He did it a couple of times last night, but I agree with you, Kipe. He's showing a lot more energy and really appreciating the fact that he's playing for a ball club that has a chance to do something special.
And it's a pretty good 1-2 punch with Ortiz hitting 4th and Ramirez hitting 5th. Well, after the break, we will head back to the A's pregame live studios for an update, and then back to Fenway Park. Hey, that's old Ironside. Do you know that, Ray? Perfect. Ball game coming up.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota. It's Toyota time for big savings on legendary Toyota quality. Take a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
A beautiful look at Boston, Massachusetts, and that is where we are at, inside Fenway Park. It's nighttime closing in, and it's a nice night for a ball game. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. 65 degrees and a nice soft breeze here at the ballpark. So another comfortable night, and the A's just want to get out of town with a win, and then they can enjoy their off day tomorrow in St. Petersburg. Lineup for the Athletics looks like this: Chris Burns, Reddick, Davis, Vogt, Butler, Alonso, Simeon, Coghlan, and keep an eye on the Butler-Porcello matchup.
And it is Rick Porcello, formerly the Detroit Tigers, a young man who was acquired by the Red Sox and then given a long-term, lot of money contract. On the season, he's earning it 5-1 with a sub-3 earned run average. He throws a whole bunch of pitches, and really nothing of which is really thrown that hard. But the fact that he will throw off speed in fastball counts, fastballs in the hitters counts, and you know, he just mixes them up. So the A's have seen a few guys already on this road trip like Porcello, and see if they learn from them facing this righty tonight.
So the first pitch of the game is a fastball high from Rick Porcello. Chris steps in hitting .247. He's got 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Coco in this series, he's 3 for 8. He's got a couple of doubles. He's knocked in 3, and he has scored 3. Umpires tonight: Alfonso Marquez will call balls and strikes, and your crew chief is Larry Vanover, and he's down in 3rd. Coco cues that one foul. 2-1 the count. So it's been a tough first 2 games in this series for the Athletics. Sean Manaea knocked around in last night's game. Sonny Gray knocked around on Monday night. Get right back at it tonight. Try to get a win. 8 runs and 10 hits in 2 2/3 innings last night. So, as a young pitcher, you hope he learned something from that.
Yes, and you know, I was asking Stephen Vogt. I said, "Do you think the Red Sox had his pitches?" And I asked Chili Davis the same thing on the Red Sox side, and they both confirmed there's just too many pitches down the middle of the plate, and when that happens, you're going to get hit.
Bunted fair, and it's picked up by Christian Vasquez, and they throw out Coco Crisp. So 1 out here in the first inning, and here's the defense for the Red Sox. Chris Young out there again tonight. He's in left, Bradley Jr. in center, Betts in right, so it's a good outfield. Shaw, Bogarts, Pedroia, and Ramirez on the infield, and Christian Vasquez is your catcher.
It's kind of rare that on a 3-1 count that a hitter bunts.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot.
No, you really don't. Figured they're going to get a pretty good pitch to hit. But Coco did opt to bunt, and Vasquez got it before it rolled foul.
So here's Burns. A little bit high with the fastball. Burns hitting at .270. He's got 3 RBIs. 3 doubles, a couple of triples, and 8 stolen bases so far for Burns. Bounced past Ron Washington, pops up into the seats.
I find it interesting that with left-handed hitters that a pitcher catcher are working the hitters outside, especially with a short porch. This is a park you'd like to have certain hitters try to pull the ball, especially left-handers, because it's so deep to right field.
It's a fair ball. Ramirez behind the bag has it. He'll take it himself. 2 outs. Greater coverage baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. More transactions today by the Athletics, so the hits just keep on coming. Jed Lowry to the disabled list. Daniel Colon option to AAA, and see Surkamp, and also Zach Neal is in the big leagues for the first time. He's a right-handed. Well, he's a starting pitcher in the minor leagues. He'll be a reliever here, obviously. So it's just been the way it's been for the A's these last 3 or 4 days. And that is Zach Neal.
Well, Bob Melvin understands the importance of a young man, and he said the wide-eyed, and that's coming into Fenway for the first time, your major league debut. So I would not be surprised that somehow tonight Bob Melvin finds a way to get him in
he likes to do that.
Yeah, get him in the game. And you know, ideally he'd like to have Matson, if Axer's available, or Sean Doolittle come in to close out a ball game. Go the back end of the bullpen on a positive note.
Reddick hits one high down the left field line, and it's going to slice into the seats.
Well, this is what happened to Jed Lowry. He got a fastball off the right foot or ankle or shin, and a contusion, I guess they called it, on the right shin, and he shut her down and then shut her down completely on crutches yesterday. X-rays are okay, but very, very sore. So the A's need bodies, healthy bodies, and he went on the disabled list.
On the infield, changeup from Porcello. And that's Travis Shaw, the third baseman. He has it, and Porcello has a 3-up, 3-down first inning. Bottom of the first coming up. The first, and let's look at the Red Sox as they come to bat in the bottom of the first. Betts, Pedroia, and Bogarts. David Ortiz back in there. He'll hit fourth, and Ramirez, Young, Shaw, Vasquez, and Bradley.
Eric Surkamp, who made 4 starts for the Athletics in his first tour of duty this season, makes a start tonight. Still looking for his first win, not only against the American League, but also the Red Sox. And he has appeared in a couple of games out of the bullpen against the Sox, but starting tonight. And as we talked, I'd like to see some depth, go deep as possible and save the bullpen a little bit.
So Mookie Betts steps in, and the first pitch eased in there for a strike from Surkamp. 252 for Betts, 5 homers, 19 RBIs. Got a leadoff home run last night, trying to do it again with that swing. Surkamp making his 5th start. Last start in the big leagues was the 24th of April in Toronto. His last start in the minor leagues was May 4th.
Well, for Sean Manaea, first batter he faced last night wasn't very good, because this is what happened. Hung a breaking ball, and that really, as you looked at his short outing, was a result of basically balls hit hard on pitches down the middle. And Stephen Vogt said he tried to get him to go inside off the plate, just was not able to do it. As a result, he was hit hard.
Breaking ball. Betts rolls it foul. Pedroia to follow, and then Bogarts. Straightaway defense for Mookie Betts. And maybe Burns just shaded slightly toward left center. Big hole in right center. Pop-up foul. Keeps the count even at 2-2. Betts is 3 for 10 in the series.
Well, Betts did the extreme last night, hitting a leadoff home run, but tonight already 6 pitches that he's seen. And for leadoff hitters facing a pitcher, of course, the Red Sox have seen him. Maybe a lot of these guys have not, but Betts is seeing a lot of pitches, which helps a lot of hitters to follow.
And a fastball swing and a miss. Elevated fastball. So Betts strikes out. A's defense tonight has Chris Davis in left, Billy Burns in center, and Josh Reddick in right. Yonder Alonso another start at third base, Marcus Semien at short, Chris Coghlan at second, and Billy Butler again at first base, and Stephen Vogt is your catcher. As we mentioned in the pregame part of our show, the A's have an extra reliever, so they have 8 relievers. So they really have 3 extra position players.
And Valencia's questionable.
Valencia probably don't want to have him in the game.
Well, it's amazing to make room, even for, I guess it was a play last night for Eric Sogard. A knee injury, surgery ends up going on 60-day disabled list, and a lot more serious than I think what everybody thought initially.
This one's popped up near the Red Sox dugout. Vogt over there, and it drops right into the first row.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game, and for the Athletics, they would like to do one thing, and it's our top of their Nissan list, and that is better starting pitching. Eric Surkamp gets a strikeout of the first batter he faces, but one of the things that the A's want to see is Surkamp go as deep as possible. And of course, when you have an off day to follow, you'd like to get a win to be able to enjoy the off day. You'd like to go in and end the 4-game losing streak, go into the off day on a positive note before they take on the Rays on Friday night at Tropicana Field.
1-2 the count to Pedroia, hitting .307. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be great. I know the skipper would be very happy.
Bounce to third, fair ball, nicely backhanded by Alonso. His throw is dug out by Billy Butler.
Well, Alonso saved so many bad throws at first base. He just made one, a low throw. But Billy Butler on the other end, first of all, great play by Alonso to backhand, set himself up, and just did not get it there all the way, but a nice scoop by Billy Butler at first base, who has shown, and especially in 0-for-14 for the Kansas City Royals, when Eric Hosmer went down, he stepped in at first, did a great job, and this time picks it perfectly with Alonso making the throw from third.
2 outs for Xander Bogaerts. Alonso moves around pretty well at third base.
Yes, he does. He's not. I mean, he can play into the positions and got a little bit, or tried to get a little bit extra, and he knows that he has done that so many times, so he appreciates what Billy Butler did.
Taps slowly, and it goes right under Alonso and Semien and rolls into shallow left field. So maybe a little miscommunication. So it goes as a hit.
And there wasn't a shift. Right through the shortstop, but ideally, if the third baseman could cut in front, it's his ball, and that's what Alonso trying to do. And maybe should have gone down to get it himself, even though he backed off. Maybe Semien said something. But if the guy can shorten the distance, the third baseman, that's ideal. So I got it, you take it, and neither one got it. Couldn't even did a kick stop to. At least it was just a base hit. No extra bases taken, but it does bring the big man to the plate.
And that would be David Ortiz. Ortiz did not play last night. John Farrell said, hey, I know he's a DH, but he's also 40 years old. I'm going to give him a rest once in a while. And he was not in there last night. Great numbers for Ortiz. 9 homers, 29 RBIs. And he skies one toward Reddick and right. Reddick coming in. Actually, Coughlin out there as well, and it's going to be Reddick who makes the catch. Side retired. Hitting a runner left. We're scoreless after 1 from Fenway. Moment before the game tonight. That young man is 6-year-old Maverick Shoot. Now he is from Wyoming. He's a huge Red Sox fan, and he's a huge David Ortiz fan. And the young man has a very rare congenital heart defect, and at 6 years old he's already had over 30 surgeries. Wow. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Chris Rose, Kevin Millar. Kevin Millar, of course, instrumental, and walked him out to throw out the ceremony of first pitch. Walked him out to the mound as Kevin Millar. Big here, the Red Sox being on the championship team. John Henry, the owner, sitting next to Kevin Millar.
On April 29th of this year, David Ortiz promised Maverick that he was going to hit a home run, and he did.
Well, they think of David Ortiz like Babe Ruth. And he, according, well, whether it's true or not, he's told him he would, but young man in the hospital.
So he was brought here to Fenway Park to meet his hero, David Ortiz.
That's right.
Thanks to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital. Kevin Millar, a big part of that. So we wish that young man all the best of luck.
Absolutely.
Not quite sure any 6-year-old should have to go through that.
Yeah.
He met his hero tonight. It's all good. As Chris Davis strikes out. He's having a good time.
Well, Porcello settled down after the first inning, and he does throw a cutter that might have had a slight cut to it. Took a little bit off the pitch. So a change up to Reddick to get him to pop out in the first inning. Remember when Porcello was with the Tigers, he was wearing the number 48. Torrey Hunter, who of course wore 48 all his career throughout, and Torrey Hunter bought the number 48 from him.
Right.
And he said, I don't want money, just make a donation. There was some serious weather issues back in his hometown in New Jersey, so Torrey Hunter made a donation on behalf of those who were suffering due to that storm. Nice, staying 22, which is a number he wore when he was playing in high school and college, Seton Hall. But a good pitcher. Red Sox gave him a big contract, a lot of money for a lot of years, and they'd like to see him do as well as he has so far with a 5-1 record.
Vogt hits a shot right back at Porcello. Porcello goes down, and Vogt has
he owns it.
the first hit.
Even going back a few years, he owns it. But this ball right up the middle. We saw Reddick do it a couple of times, but watch Porcello as that ball over his head. And if I were a pitcher, I would do exactly what he did. Go down, throw up the glove to protect your face, your body. But Stephen Vogt, I mean, every hitter wants to try to do that. They don't want to open up and pull a ball, roll over and hit a ground ball. They try to go back up the middle, but that's awfully scary for a pitcher to finish.
So 1-out single that'll bring up Butler. Butler 19 for 52 in his career against Porcello with a home run. So he has seen him a lot thanks to their days in the AL Central, squaring off against each other. That sinker, 91 miles an hour. As Ray said, he doesn't really throw hard, but he's always had that good two-seam fastball.
You can go back to Pfister. The A's faced with the Astros at the Coliseum in the series finale. Then they moved on to Baltimore. Jimenez, neither one throwing hard, but they spotted it. Carl Willis, excellent pitcher in his days, mostly with the Twins, their championships, and pitching coach for the Red Sox.
Well, Billy Butler strikes out. So 2 outs here in the second inning.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
There's Yonder Alonso. Yeah, Porcello was traded for Cespedes. How about that?
Yeah. Cespedes made another throw last night again.
Yeah. It was December of 2014 when that deal was made between the Red Sox and the Tigers.
Actually, the Red Sox made out very well because Cespedes, of course, he didn't like it in Boston, and then became a free agent after his Tiger days, and ended up with the Mets on a late sign, but a good contract. And he, like a lot of players, has an opt-out after 1 year.
And Alonso starting to heat up as he rips one down the right field line. Here comes Stephen Vogt. They're going to wave him home. We may have a play. The throw to the plate is late. Sliding Vogt is in there, and the A's lead 1-0. So Yonder Alonso has had a good series, and it continues.
Been going to the opposite field, left center, with a couple of doubles. This time got to change up and hit it down the right field line. But watch what happens in right field. If Betts had come up with this ball cleanly, it might have been a different story, but it comes off the wall. But Stephen Vogt, man, can he fly. Look at the speed of Stephen Vogt, just turning those legs, and he's going to score really without much of a play. But Betts bobbled the ball momentarily in right field, and that slowed down everything except the speed of Stephen Vogt, and he made it to score the A's first run.
So Alonso gets his 9th RBI. So it wasn't a big bobble, but just maybe enough.
Just enough. And played the carom and low throw to Pedroia, but Stephen Vogt going on contact. Whew. He could fly, can't he?
It's like his feet don't even touch the ground. 2-0 to Marcus Semien.
Well, one big 2-out RBI by Alonso. Hit it in the perfect place, especially with a runner at first. And Marcus Semien can drive home another one with a good solid base hit. Not even paying any attention to Alonso at second, so he can get a huge lead, and I'm sure Ron Washington telling him to do exactly that.
Close pitch, and now it's 3-0. The A's offense has been fine. 5.5 runs per game in the last 6 games, so that's not the issue. Had 15 hits last night. In this series alone, Ray, 12 runs and 26 hits in the first 2 games of the series.
Should be enough.
It should be enough. Is right.
Let's hope Eric Surkamp tonight, when somebody said, "What do you need?" and he said, "Give me one, and I'll take care of the rest."
Give me one. Yeah. I'll do the,
they got
the Brett Anderson.
That's right.
The shutout.
Yeah, that was a great story to come back with last night after all the bad things happened. But Brett Anderson, what a story he had in 09.
So 3-1 to Simeon. 8 homers, 16 RBIs. There's that sinker. You see Vasquez set up inside, and it runs down and in on the right-handed hitters. Watch the movement.
Well, it does go down and in, and not much Simeon could do except pull the ball foul. That's really kind of a quick, cheap strike. Always felt coming in here that Red Sox pitchers like to pitch opposing hitters, especially the right-handers, inside. Just exactly what the opposite you think they would do.
Got a fastball and 3-2, 94 miles an hour. And he gets the strikeout. A's get a run. Alonso with the RBI double. 1-0 Athletics after an inning and a half. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by AAA. What does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for details. Second inning, and the A's have a 1-0 lead early. They're okay with that.
A lot of A's fans here tonight. Saw some down on the field during batting practice. Maybe they paid for the tour. Who knows, right? A lot of tours here.
First pitch to Ramirez is inside. 3 for 5 in shutdown innings this year for Eric Surkamp. Ramirez, big swing, fouls it back. Down to our right. Ramirez at 301, 4 homers, 19 RBIs. Big series, 4 for 7. He's got a homer. He's walked a couple times. He has scored 5 runs in this series.
The way the offense of the Red Sox has been producing runs, I'm sure Rick Porcello is not concerned at this point. This is what he did last night. First pitch that he saw from Sean Manaea. It was crushed. All you had to do is just close your eyes and just listen to the sound, because you know it was gone, just a matter of how far it would go. And it went out quickly.
2-2 in the count to Ramirez. It was up there somewhere.
Yeah, that light tower.
About the 4th section of that light tower is what we ended up seeing. Two pitch is bounced to the right side. Coughlin has it. So Ramirez is gone. 1 away here in the bottom of the 2nd, and that'll bring up Chris Young. Red Sox come in with a 20-13 record. Tied with the Orioles for first place in that AL East. They've won 3 in a row and 8 out of 11. So they're rolling a little bit. They will stay home this weekend and they will host the Houston Astros. Orioles won earlier today, so they jump a half game ahead.
What did they do in the makeup game for the Orioles? Was that
I did not see it.
I didn't see it either, but that's so they only make one trip and they already have a couple to make up. A couple of off days, one at home, I think one in Texas. There's Young playing against his former team. Had a good night last night and back-to-back lefties, so he's getting the start in left field. Brock Holt had been starting and did start on Monday with a right-hander.
The Red Sox and the Astros will play a 4-game series starting tomorrow night. So the A's will get an off day. Red Sox will not. In fact, the Red Sox in an interesting stretch right now. They're in a stretch where they're playing 13 of 16 at home. It's one of those where you're home for a week, go away for 3 games, come back for a week. A's will start having a few of those. That one is driven well. Left center field. Nobody's going to get it. It's off the monster. Young to second, and he's got a 1-out double.
Not only a 1-out double, but a 2-strike 1-out double. And Chris Young, and night last night, trying to go inside. Look where the pitch is. Outside, and yet he hooked it into left center. What Stephen Vogt said last night about last night and Sean Manaea, wherever he would set up would be just the opposite. Stephen inside, and you reach that far as a catcher, way off the target, and a huge difference it probably would have been if the pitch had been thrown inside where Stephen Vogt wanted it.
So here's Travis Shaw. Shaw has been a tough out in this series. Seeing him for the first time in this series. Big, strong left-handed hitter, and it hit him.
And he didn't know it. It took the home plate umpire to tell him it's got hit. And Stephen Vogt didn't think so. And I mean, Shaw didn't react. It took Alfonso Marquez to tell him, and I think it missed it. That could have been a click off the catcher's mitt. And see Stephen Vogt pointing to his mitt, saying that what you heard was my catcher's mitt. Follow Stephen Vogt if you can. Check swing there, but Stephen immediately pointed, it hit my catcher's mitt, and that was the sound you heard. But it didn't work.
And Stephen Vogt's not happy.
And you know he's right, because you hear, and you can hear the ball going into the catcher's mitt, and Shaw is saying, "Oh, that hurt."
Yeah, pain.
Gosh, I don't know if I can stand it.
Here's Vasquez. Big swing and a miss by the young catcher. Red Sox have to feel pretty good about.
Check this out. That didn't even come close to him. That missed him by 6 inches.
That's a bad call.
That's a horrible call, but he heard it.
And you know what's too bad is can't check it.
Yeah, and Alfonso Marquez, you know, you hear something, and you know, in reality, catchers will usually say foul ball. You say it fast, and maybe you get a reaction from an umpire, but
I don't know what I mean. If it hit him and then the catcher caught it, you should hear 2 clicks.
That's a good point.
Right,
great point. Yeah, you heard one.
You heard one, but that was the catcher catching the ball.
Exactly. The last thing you want to do is let a left-handed hitter reach base, although Shaw has been hitting well.
Swing and a miss. Vasquez chased a high fastball. So now Surkamp is just going to have to try to pitch around that missed call.
High fastball and went after it. And been nice to have gotten Shaw out and then the strikeout, leaving the runner at second, but now he's got a big strikeout there.
So here's Jackie Bradley. Bradley goes after the first pitch, bounces it foul toward his dugout.
I always think about yelling foul ball as a catcher. Dave Duncan hit some like 40 home runs, 44 home runs, playing for Modesto. And I was catching, he was playing for them, and it happened like that. I said foul ball. The umpire said foul ball. Dunk said it hit me, and it did hit him. Broke his hand, sadly. but the umpire called it a foul ball. You know, just one of those, you got a reaction. Now, I got the reaction from the umpire, but poor Dunk. But he went on to hit a lot of home runs, but it hit a ton of them.
Well, we're just kind of double checking on this, Ray. That is a reviewable play.
Well, Melvin called time, and that's what I was wondering, because I thought like you it wasn't, but you know they checked that. But as far as the foul balls are ones that are in the dirt, caught or not caught, and that at this point is not reviewed.
And that one is belted right center and deep, and it is gone. Jackie Bradley does it again.
He should never have come up.
And that's a shame.
That is a shame.
You're exactly right.
I mean, you don't know what would happen to Shaw, but he should never have hit in this inning. If he'd gotten Shaw out and he struck out Vasquez, Bradley never come to the plate, and the A's are now down 3-1. Fastball is supposed to be outside again, mislocation, and that's been the tough part of this series for the Athletics and their pitching. Location, and you miss. And you help a hitter, in this case the left-hander on the lefty, into the bullpen of the Red Sox. Not a cheap one.
So Bradley a grand slam in this series, now a 3-run homer, and sitting on a 17-game hitting streak. So that's the 6th home run the Red Sox have hit in this series. Oh, 0-1 to Mookie Betts. Slider is down and in.
I'd like to know if they saw the replay we showed where it clearly missed Shaw. I mean, what was not seen? I mean, that's the surprising thing.
Well, but they didn't look at it.
I know,
because it wasn't being asked to be reviewed.
Yeah, that's true. But this is the shot we had, and that clearly missed him by several inches. I mean, that wasn't even close to hitting, and that's why Shaw didn't react.
So 2-2 the count to Betts. Betts hits it hard on the ground. Nice backhanded play by Simeon. He throws, and Billy Butler digs it out. Side retired. Jackie Bradley, another home run. This was his 5th of the year, a 3-run shot. So it's 3-1 Red Sox after 2. CSN California, you're going to get Sharks pregame central. Pre and post-game coverage of every Sharks playoff game is on CSN. Sharks and the Predators all knotted up at 3 games apiece. So we got ourselves a Game 7 tomorrow. Don't miss a moment on the home of the authentic Sharks fans, CSN California. So the winner goes to the conference finals against either the Blues or the Stars. The Blues and Stars will play their own Game 7 tonight.
Exciting, man. That's exciting stuff.
So Porcello now with a 3-1 lead as he faces Coghlan, Crisp, and Burns here in the 3rd. Curveball roll foul.
You saw the numbers for Rick Porcello, 5-1 with a sub-3 ERA. David Price talking about, I mean, his record is, you looked at just the numbers, wins and losses, you said what's wrong, but his ERA. But this is the offense that they have been providing to these and for these pitchers. And like Rick Porcello, what's the big deal about getting above a run? My offense has scored some runs, and they've been doing it for David Price.
Price with the good record, but that high ERA. It'll come down, and it'll probably start coming down this weekend. Line drive, and that's a hit. Coghlan goes the other way. Well, Rick Porcello had a tough year last year, and these numbers back it up. You see the batting average against the different pitches, and obviously everything much higher last year. Look at the slider, 357. And last year, when it was all said and done, Porcello was 9-15 with an ERA just a shade under 5. So it just was not a good year. He was coming off a 15-win season the year before that with the Tigers. Uncle bunts it in the air. Remember when Rick Porcello came up? He was a youngster. He was a #1 draft pick out of high school.
That's right.
And he pitched 1 year in the minor leagues, and it was single A. And that was 2008. And then in 2009, he made the Tigers rotation out of spring training as a 20-year-old. And he pitched pretty well.
And you talk about monitoring innings.
They watched him close.
They watched him very closely, because that, I mean, he's turned out to be a great pitcher. But I mean, you look at that coming up at that age.
Put it out in front. Vasquez says, I got it. Throws on the run. So down to second base goes Coghlan. See if they give Coco a sacrifice.
Yes.
I guess they probably have to. And it is. Vasquez out behind home plate. So he's made at least 25 starts in each of his first 7 major league seasons, all before turning 27 years old. Only pitcher in modern history to do so. So that all started with getting to the big leagues at the age of 20 and pitching a full season in the rotation at the age of 20.
And I think you have to give the then manager Jim Leyland a lot of credit, because as hard as it has to be and had to be to try to win, knowing that you have to monitor one of your starting pitchers, but he did an exceptional job, and that's probably why he will one day be a Hall of Fame manager. Should be. Got the credentials and a great manager, both in the American and National League.
Fastball is high, 2-0. The career record for Porcello is 90-79.
And they have him through 2019, so the big contract that he signed.
He'll still be a youngster when he gets
yeah,
to that.
exactly. Be a free agent at 31. Again.
That changeup stays high. Porcello's last start was at Yankee Stadium, and he took the loss, although he pitched pretty well. 3 earned runs in 7 innings. And there's the walk. So Burns is aboard, and an opportunity for Reddick. But first, a visit from the pitching coach.
Carl Willis evidently saw something in the deliveries of Porcello, and especially 4 pitches all outside, 3 fastballs and 1 changeup. These guys are really concerned about people reading lips. It's amazing.
Be careful.
It is really amazing. Even the pitching coach now. Mike Maddox now with the Washington Nationals and Dusty Baker. Can't even understand.
Yeah, we want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Some of the batting leaders coming into tonight's action. Reddick is 4th with his .325 average. And the first pitch, there's that changeup again, and it works his way off the plate. Reddick popped out to 3rd in the first inning.
Well, that's 5 pitches to the lefties. They try to go outside, and Reddick will go to the opposite field, and they continue to shift him to the right side.
Missed again.
And that time, Vasquez wanted the pitch inside. He actually is doing the same thing Sonny Gray was doing on Monday night, kind of pushing the ball a little bit, and everything elevated with the pitches. Let's hope next time Sonny pitches, which would be this weekend, I would think, he would have corrected the flaw or flaws, whatever was going on. 3 consecutive starts that have been tough for the A's ace.
2-0 pitch. Another changeup, and this time it's in for a strike.
He got Reddick out on the changeup 2-1 his first at bat, and it looked like Josh Reddick was almost figuring he was going to get it again, but he was not going to offer at it.
Good swing there by Reddick. So he finally got a fastball, 93 miles an hour, and he fouled it back.
That's pretty good hitting. He took the changeup, got the fastball, and he was ready for it, just could not put it in play.
Kind of managing the at bat, right? Get yourself in a spot where you.
And when you're good, I mean, when you're swinging the bat as well as he is, then you can kind of pick your times that you want to swing. Look for certain pitches, and now they're taking the shift away a little bit. They're going more in normal position with Bogarts moving on his third base side of short.
Another fastball. This one 95 miles an hour.
You know, one of the things, and Mike Aldretti, working with the A's outfielders, he made the point about outfielders, but it's the same for infielders. You get a count in which it's favorable to the pitcher. 2 strikes where a hitter is shortening up. You figure the hitter's going to be aggressive, and Aldretti's told the outfielders, if you get a hitter with a count in his favor, figure he's going to try to pull the ball versus gets 2 strikes. He may think protect outfield. Look at this now. Until he got to 2-2 or 2 strikes, they were shifted to the right side.
And that to the backstop. Reddick going to skip out of the way.
How did he miss it?
So obviously a wild pitch, and now better opportunity for Reddick.
And he must do a great job skipping rope, because he just skipped it there. Curveball right at his feet, jumped up, and it went under him. So no shift now, 3-2, and first base is open. With the righty knee on deck, sir. It's too early to even think about it, but see how Porcello and Vasquez approach it with the hot hitter. Changing.
A little pop up, and Shaw is going to have a play, and he's got it. And that's a big out for Rick Porcello, and a frustrating at bat for Reddick.
Well, he got the change up again, and might not even been a strike. And Reddick was hoping that it would get into the seats, give him another chance, but it's not the case, and yes, upset.
Now, so now it's up to Chris Davis. Chris Davis struck out his first at bat. Coghlan's at third and Burns at second. Plenty of speed on the bases. Chris Davis swings and misses. Davis now 4 for 11 in the series. A home run and a double and a couple of singles. Spending a lot of time in the cleanup spot with Danny Valencia on the shelf for a while. And there's a shot, base hit left field, and that's going to get a pair of runs home. As Burns hustles around third, a huge hit for Chris Davis, and we're tied at 3.
Vasquez trying to deke Chris Davis. He was pounding his catcher's mitt on the dirt on the inside part of the plate. You'll see catchers do that. He gives a sign. Watch the left, the catcher's mitt. He's going to call a pitch outside, but he taps the ground with the catcher's mitt, basically trying to get him to think the pitch is going to be inside. And then he moves outside, but he left it inside, or at least down the middle of the plate. And Vasquez throw me the ball. He said there's no chance they're going to throw out Billy Burns running on contact, but that's a great shot, and catchers will do that. Ramon Hernandez did it all the time, trying to tap and get the hitter to think about where the pitch might be. It didn't work out as far as what he did, and Chris Davis a huge hit, driving in 2 runs to tie it.
So Davis now 18 RBIs. Stephen Vogt had a base hit in the second inning, and then he scored from first on the Alonso double. Porcello struggling in this inning, giving up a couple of hits and a walk.
If your pitching coach goes out to talk to you in the 3rd inning because he sees something, then it's going to be a tough time. Last inning he did strike out the side, but gave up a 2-out double to Alonso. All 3 runs scored by the A's tonight have come with 2 outs. 3 by the Red Sox the same.
That one a strike on 2-0. 7-2-0 counts tonight. It's just the 3rd inning.
And last night O'Sullivan did not have a 3-ball count in the time that he pitched.
And so far the A's have taken advantage of that. Breaking ball. All right, time now for the cricket something to smile about. Remember game 2 of the 2013 ALDS? That's Stephen Vogt. Won the game, and the pitcher for the Tigers that night was Rick Porcello.
Who came in relief.
That's right. Yeah. Porcello pitching out of the bullpen in that opening series.
A huge thrill for Stephen Vogt, and he has been outstanding ever since. All-Star last year. Does a great job behind the plate. And boy, can he run fast.
Shoots that one foul. Stephen Vogt going with the high pants tonight, showing off the striped socks.
Makes him faster.
Yeah,
I think we showed it and saw it scoring from first. There's something about the striped socks make you seem like the white shoes. He's got that little extra step.
Runner goes. It's hit hard, but right at Pedroia. And Pedroia retires the side, but the A's get a couple of runs thanks to Chris Davis and his 2-out RBI single. In fact, it knocked in a pair, so we're tied at 3. Ace Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Clipper. For work, play, and all points between, use Clipper instead of cash to pay for transit. Beautiful look at downtown Boston. Bottom of the third of a 3-3 game. Chris Davis ties it up with a 2-run single.
Well, you've always said nothing better than big 2-out RBI hit, and Bradley did it for the Red Sox, Chris Davis, and Alonso for the A's. So good night for the offense, coming through with the big hits. But I would not get into a slugfest with the Red Sox. They're swinging the bats well.
Probably not a great idea. In between innings, what do they call it? The Legends Suite?
Yep, the Legends Suite.
One of the former Red Sox greats sits in a suite. Fans get to enjoy that. Look at that youngster. That's our guy right there.
He is.
He's eyeballing his hero, David Ortiz. What a great shot. What a great face. Man, oh man. He's getting tired, though. It's been a long day. He's all right. That is beautiful. A little high. 3-1 to Pedroia. Ortiz will hit third in this inning.
But I'm really glad they've extended the screen, the netting, all the way down to the dugout, so the young man can look at his idol and not worry about any errant foul ball coming his way.
So leadoff walk to Pedroia.
Ortiz just gave the young man a high five as he came out to the on-deck circle. That's great.
Can't get enough of that face, huh?
No.
So now Xander Bogaerts will hit. And he had a base hit back in the first inning. Inside corner first time. Always nice if you're a left-handed pitcher. You can get a strike called on that inside corner. You're a right-handed hitter.
Well, the right-handed hitters have a tendency to try to hook the ball into or over the monster in left field.
Went in there again and got in on Bogaerts. So 0-2. Now 1-2. 45 pitches for Sir Camp. Got to keep an eye on that with these short outings by the A's starters lately.
Well, it really becomes a grind against every hitter, and because we talked about starting the series 1 through 9, they've all been hitting. What a jump.
And it was a good jump. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base is late.
That's first move. No chance.
And Bogaerts strikes out, but now Pedroia at second base. And here's our McDonald's True Stories. Has to do with David Ortiz. Remember, he was a Minnesota Twin for a while. But once he came to Boston, well, I would say things changed. He was released by the Twins. He's one of the greatest DHs in Major League history. And, of course, that's the most important one right there. He's a 3-time world champion for the Red Sox. And I'm convinced, Ray, that no matter how many home runs he ends up with, and he has 512, the reason he's so loved here in Boston is, I mean, he's a clutch hitter. And a lot of people don't fully buy into that clutch thing, big hits. How can you not with David Ortiz? A's have found out over the years.
Exactly. And then you look what happened in 04.
Well,
I mean, he did it in 04, the ALCS, and they were down. The Yankees had a 3-0 lead, and Ortiz hit the home run in walk-off fashion, game 1, and Kevin Millar kept saying, "Don't let us win tonight.
Yep.
Don't let us win tonight." And they kept winning. And after they were down 3-0, they won 8 straight to win the league championship and the world championship.
well, once they came back to beat the Yankees, it was hard to imagine that anybody was going to beat them going into the World Series. I would say there was a little momentum going, even there may have been some time in between. 3-0 now. Surkamp pitching carefully. Ramirez in the on-deck circle.
Well, he's going to have the green light. He doesn't even look at Brian Butterfield's looking at the second base runner, and Pedroia, he doesn't even look to David Ortiz. I don't know that Big Papi ever thinks about not hitting 3-0.
Thought about it. And it's a walk. Here's our Ford right choice. Well, here he is. 2004 ALCS in games 4 and 5.
Yeah.
David Ortiz, 2 walk-offs in a row. Home run in game 4, and then in game 5 it was a single in the 14th inning. Just a little flare, but it was good enough. Red Sox came back from that 3-0 deficit to beat the Yankees. And of course, they beat the Cardinals in the World Series. So most walk-off home runs. David Ortiz with 11.
See the Albert Pujols right behind David Ortiz. They're actually tied with him. And an interesting article in the Globe today about the comparisons, maybe of the great Ted Williams to David Ortiz. And I think David Ortiz would be very quick to point out, as Albert Pujols did about Stan the Man Musial, when they wanted to erect a statue and called Albert Pujols El Hombre, the man. He said there's only one man, and that's Stan Musial. Well, I would think David Ortiz would say the same about Ted Williams.
No question.
I mean, there's only one. I mean, it's a newer generation who watched David Ortiz hit the big walk-offs and all that, but Ted Williams, nobody better than the splendid Splinter. Man, he was outstanding. So Ryan Dull, the reliever, warming up in the bullpen.
Ramirez tried to hold up, and he did. High fastball.
I would have to think the off day tomorrow would kind of help Bob Melvin, as this is the check swing and a good call. Scuccioni, but off day, and every game today is important. Worry about tomorrow, which is an off day, and then Friday, worry about that then.
This one's popped up. Vogt may have a play, or Butler. It'll be Vogt, and he does. He makes the catch.
It's a great pitch. 1-0, got it in on his hands, and remember last night he had a similar big swing and got jammed, hit a ball to right field for a bloop single. Stephen Vogt getting rid of the mask, avoid stepping on the weighted bat in the on-deck circle, which there's not even an on-deck circle here. Just realized that.
No need.
It's so far away.
Watch the mask.
Oh,
Watch the
yeah.
bat boy. Whoa. Hey, come on, man.
Picks it up, cleans it off, hands it to him. Earned his pay.
So here's Chris Young. He doubled and scored in the second. Curve stays outside.
Former pitching coach managing the Red Sox in John Farrell, and a former pitching coach in Carl Willis.
Pedroia and Ortiz are your base runners. So now 2-0, and Young will be ready to rip.
If he'd thrown that pitch his first at bat last inning with a count 1-2, it might have gotten him out, but he left the pitch outside. That's when Young hit the double to left center.
Good pitch there, stayed down around the knees.
This is how left-handers can win at Fenway Park. Pitching inside, get in the corner, jamming hitters as he did to Ramirez, previous hitter.
Sliders high, so now 3-1. Careful here. Chris Young, very aggressive. On deck is the left-handed hitting Travis Shaw. So lots of pitches for Surkamp. Swing and a miss. Change-up.
Great change-up. Now he could go 1 of 3 pitches. That pitch alone puts the thought in a hitter's mind that he could throw anything. What a changeup, was great. Chris Young was thinking about pulling the ball off the monster maybe, but pulled the string perfectly. And yes, if he throws it again, he probably get it. But the fact that he can go fastball, he can go curveball, go changeup.
So the runners will take off. And now Chris Young asked for time.
And you know, Stephen Vogt went out to talk to Surkamp, and just to let him know what he was thinking, so that whenever there'd be no question that when he went down and called the sign.
In the air to left field. Davis going back. He's at the wall, and it is off the wall. And they're going to hold David Ortiz at third. Pedroia comes in to score, and the Red Sox grab the lead back 4-3.
He really did not throw the curveball with conviction. I think that was it's a good pitch, good selection, but the way he threw it, it wasn't trying to get him to swing and miss. Almost like he wanted to throw it for a strike, and there's your high fly ball off the green monster. And he's caught a break that David Ortiz didn't score. I mean, he was barely running, and Bob Melvin, they may intentionally walk Shaw to get to Vasquez because he's going to the right-hander dog, unless he's going to pitch to the lefty.
Well, we got a pitching change, folks. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Dull coming in, try to get the A's out of this inning.
'70s classics on Grease Movie Fireworks Night, presented by Xfinity. Friday, May the 20th, which is game 2 of the A's 4-game series against the New York Yankees. After the game, fans can watch the fireworks show from the outfield grass. As always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/fireworks. And if you're going to bring Chris birthday presents from our partner for his birthday, you know, you can think about it, find a way to get him up to the booth.
It's up to you.
Happy to accept it.
Don't have to, but if you want to.
Well, unfortunately, another starter goes short. Just 2 2/3 innings for Eric Surkamp. But Cap, I agree with what you said. They're going to face Shaw. They're going to pitch to him because Dull has the changeup he can throw and likes to throw. But with first base open, to Chris Young to throw the ball hard You walk him, you got the lefty coming up. He might have stayed in the game. Who knows? But
and when we say first base open, a base is open, and and if you walk him, the bases will be loaded. Runners were taken off in the pitch. So Dahl facing Shaw, who was hit by a pitch. Not really, but he was. And now they're going to walk him. And they'll face Christian Vasquez. Well, this will be the third walk of the inning. The inning started with the walk to Pedroia.
David Ortiz bending over at his knees, and I don't know if there's something wrong, but even David Ortiz should have been able to score.
Yeah, he was not running well at all.
I mean, it was 3-2, and you're right, it was first and second on the 3-2, but you know, sometimes you can't worry about walking a batter. If you throw it with conviction to get him out, sometimes if he's able to take the pitch, but with Ortiz on the move from first base and the high towering fly ball, he barely made it third.
So big out to get here. First pitch to Vasquez off the plate. Dahl, this is his first appearance in this series.
Well, he overthrew that pitch to Vasquez.
Vasquez struck out in the second inning. In the air, should reach the seats. 10 rows back behind the Red Sox dugout. Little scrum going on. Saw some beer being poured out of a cup there. So somebody's not going to be happy losing their beverage. If you're going to lose the beverage, better come up with the cowhide.
Better get the baseball. That's right.
2-1 now to Vasquez. Each team with 4 hits in this game. So lots of base runners for both teams again tonight. Room for Reddick. Lots of room out there in right field. Side retired. A run for the Red Sox. So we're on to the 4th inning. It's the Red Sox 4 and the A's 3. Live on CSNCalifornia.com. Log on each week as our A's Insider Joe Stiglich talks baseball with players, coaches, and more. A's Insider Podcast with Super Joe Stiglich. It's on csncalifornia.com, also available on iTunes. He'll probably check it out. That gentleman right there, good A's fan.
Up on the monster. You can see him all the way up here. You can see him in the back row.
Well,
stands out, doesn't he?
Stand out with those gold uniforms. Probably got a batting practice ball. If you stand out there during batting practice, you probably have a better than average chance of getting a home run ball. I mean, how many balls go up during batting practice? Who knows? Wouldn't even want to guess.
Well, you know, when the teams travel, like the A's traveling on this road trip, each time.
There he is.
There he is. He stands out, man. I mean, you look out there from here, you can see one alternate gold jersey, and he's wearing it. But in order to save the visiting team from having to travel with baseballs, the home team provides the visiting team each day with X number of dozens of baseballs. Well, when these guys take batting practice, they're pearls, as we used to call them.
Yeah.
Brand new baseballs. They dump them in, and I mean, those balls are hit all over the place, but they're hitting actual major league quality baseballs. So yeah, there's a ton of that go up into the Green Monster. And that's why the Jimmy Fund always made a lot of money before they put the seats up there.
Well, that's the kind of balls you took batting practice with in Cleveland, right?
Yeah, they look like brand new, but they were erased baseballs. Have you ever seen the octagon where the racers are put in there and they throw the baseballs?
I haven't.
Well,
I believe you though that it happened, since I don't remember the Indians ever being overflowing with cash.
Not then. Not whenever your brother and I were there. No. We'd see somebody walk in the clubhouse in a three-piece suit and we say, well, we got another investor. We get paid this week.
Yeah. Put him on the list.
Yeah.
Alonso would rip at that one. Alonso double in a run in the second. So he's really starting to swing the bat much better. And 9 hits in his last 23 at bats. A little 7-game hitting streak for yonder.
Now the third baseman, Shaw, just moved over to the second base spot. Bogart stays in normal position, so this is kind of the reverse of what they did with Reddick. With Reddick, when he got 2 strikes, they took the shift away. This time they employed the shift with a couple of strikes. Now 3-2 on Alonso. Try to explain. Now, if I catch the ball, this is Shaw. I'm going to flip it to you because you're going to be the shortstop covering the bat.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch. High in the air, shallow right. And Mookie Betts comes in.
He's got a good changeup, and he's not afraid to throw it.
That's for sure. He will back up a changeup with a changeup.
Exactly.
So 2 outs, and here's Marcus Semien. Lots of day games around Major League Baseball today. The Texas Rangers beat the White Sox 6-5. That was the rubber game of that series. So the Rangers continue to play well. They're now 20-15.
They were trailing late in that game. I think they were trailing. I remember looking at the score. It seemed like they were down a couple of runs. The next thing you know, they won it.
Yeah, they were down 4-2, and then they scored 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and ended up winning it 6-5. So the Rangers will be off tomorrow at home. So they get a nice home off day, and they will host the Toronto Blue Jays this weekend. Blue Jays in San Francisco playing an interleague game against the Giants. They played a long one today. Giants won that game 5-4 to salvage the final game, and that was a 13-inning job. So the Blue Jays will get on the plane and head to Arlington. Inside, Cole Hamel started that game for Texas today. He got a no decision.
But not surprising that you said a lot of day games today, because it is they were the rubber games, the final games of the series, and it's nice that there were day games,
a lot of
getaways. Yeah, to be able to travel and get in a reasonable hour.
So Porcello has a 3-up, 3-down, top of the 4th, bottom of the 4th coming up. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints, celebrating 70 years as your neighborhood paint store. Are we going to see the big guy here again? Wow. That's different from, that's a different guy from last night's telecast. See, our crew goes out and shoots live stuff every day. This is not like canned stuff that you haul out from a couple days ago.
That's impressive.
Right down by the water.
That's impressive.
A's trailing 4-3. It's the bottom of the fourth inning. Ryan Dull will face Bradley, Betts, and Pedroia for the Red Sox. Jackie Bradley, a 3-run homer in the second inning. He now has 5 homers, 25 RBIs, so lots of production out of the 9th spot. A shot. What a play by Simeon. Spins around, throws. Got him.
Well, they're going to take a look at it, but that looked like, just from watching it, that Simeon reaching, grabbing the ball, making sure he had the grip, and then throwing. Bang, bang, and got him. And John Farrell's out on the top step and looking like he wants to have them review it. No, that's all right. Let's play ball. Because he would have lost. That's a great play by Marcus Simeon. To catch it, first of all, spin, get a good grip on the baseball, make a strong throw to Billy Butler.
Just 2 errors through 34 games for Marcus Simeon. And I think we see him play every day, right? I mean, he's always had good range, so the range has always been there. But he makes a fair amount of difficult plays as well.
Yes, I mean,
that's a good sign.
That was the difficult one there.
So this is not a guy who, you know, and again, we concentrate on the errors from a statistical standpoint, but seeing him every day, it's a player with a lot of range who's getting to a lot of balls, and now he's handling the routine balls and throwing it much better.
I think the throws are the best thing, and Ryan Butterfield, third base coach and infield coach for the Red Sox, talking about Bogaerts at shortstop and his footwork, and that's the same thing Ron Washington was talking to Marcus Simeon about. After you catch the ball, what kind of footwork do you have to be able to make the throw? Because they have the strong enough arm, but if the footwork is working, then it sets up the throw and then can let it go without any hesitation, and Marcus has shown that. Wash every day. I don't know if they're going to take tomorrow off or not, or just show up in Tropicana Field. No, but
if he's rolling them balls on the veranda in St. Pete, then those two are dedicated. Mookie Betts, he's got a line drive single. Mookie Betts is 1 for 3.
Another elevated fastball, another 2-strike hit, and Ryan Dull just left it up. And Mookie Betts with a ball hit hard to left center. I was talking to Brian Butterfield, and you know, there's a guy named Derek Jeter who's going to the Hall of Fame first ballot as soon as he's eligible. Brian Butterfield worked with Derek Jeter. Jeter had actually made 56 errors in his first year playing minor league baseball. And the Yankees were saying they were going to change positions. But they said Butterfield, who had been working the organization, took him under his wings for 35 straight days. Became a Gold Glover and outstanding shortstop, to the point that Derek Jeter said to the Wall Street Journal in an interview, he said it was the best 5 weeks that anybody ever spent with me. That Butterfield helped him become the type of shortstop that we all saw him play.
Yeah, he was right out of high school, so he was 18 years old, trying to figure it out.
But Ryan Butterfield has been outstanding. He's working with all these guys. Bogaerts has had Derek Jeter with the Yankees, and
that's trouble. And that one is gone. Dustin Pedroia, two-run homer, and the Red Sox are at it again, 6-3 now here in the fourth. Just got over the Green Monster.
Well, the location again, hanging slider. And yes, it just got over the monster, but you have to wonder, the monster will take away. But this was up high and on the front row, and it came back onto the field, but it went over the yellow line, indicating a home run. Clanked it by that young man.
That was a big clank by that guy.
They had a chance for a souvenir, but hitting hands, hit him in the wrong spot, hit him in the hands. Don't go after it. Oof. But that was a hanging slider. You don't get away with many of those at this level, and Ryan Dull didn't, and that man clanked it.
Probably not a lot of mercy being shown out there. Bogarts fouls it back, 0-2 the count.
Can you imagine his reaction as the ball was heading his direction? He's going, it's coming, it's coming.
Don't screw it up.
And he did.
0-2 the count. Bogarts has a single and a strikeout so far tonight. So 2 home runs tonight for the Red Sox, 7 now in this series.
7 in the series and 6 on Sunday by the Orioles in that one game.
Vogt wants it inside. It's hit right up the middle. May have got a piece of Dull. Goes right through in the center field for a hit. So 7 hits now for the Red Sox.
Well, they wanted in one location, and it came right back at it. Try to get the glove down, not enough time to do it.
So that'll bring up David Ortiz. Fly out to right and a walk. Ortiz with 512 home runs. His career hit total right now is 2,339. So he should get to, well, he will get to 2,400 career hits. Runner goes, a little flare. Coghlan hustling out, and he's not going to get it. And Bogarts is going to round third and stop there. That's a ball, Ray, where the big right field really helps a hitter.
Yeah. Well, the power hitting of David Ortiz forces right fielder Josh Reddick to play deep, and that ball jammed him. And runner Bogarts got a good jump, and he heard the crack of the bat and kind of knew if he's going to keep running, because if Coghlan gets it, he knows he's going to be double up anyway.
He's psyched. So 4 straight hits here off Ryan Dull in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now you got to face Hanley Ramirez with 1 out. How you feel for Kurt Young too? He's probably scratching his head trying to figure out what to do. Get this pitching staff straightened out.
Then you go back to 2011, a season in which the Red Sox just fell apart in the month of September. He was a pitching coach and ends up with the A's as a result when Terry Francona was let go. So again, the bullpen, 3rd inning, already working, and now Szynski starting to get loose.
0-1 to Hanley Ramirez. He's 0 for 2 tonight. So Roberts at 3rd, Ortiz at 1st. 2 runs in on the Pedroia home run. And big league coaches, they don't leave it at the ballpark.
Oh no.
They take it back to the hotel or back home with them, trying to figure out what to do. Hitting coach, as soon as some guy gets hot, the next guy goes in a slump. That's a guarantee right there. You know that's going to happen. Ramirez shoots one foul down the right field line.
Well, the real positive for Darren Boucher, his hitting coach, is that he gets to see his family in Florida.
That's right.
Because they've been down there, and they're going to come into St. Petersburg for the weekend. Same for Scott Emerson, is from North Carolina. His wife's there. So, I mean, these coaches, say what you want. They spend a lot of time at the park, but are also away from the families a lot just because of their jobs. And they figure at that age, they have kids sometimes at school. In case of Darren Bush, that's official.
1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called inside corner with a fastball. So Dahl not afraid to get right in on Ramirez, and that's a good pitch.
Well, Stephen Vogt set up off the plate, and by looking at that one, it doesn't look like a strike, but it's a different angle where the cameras are set up in left center. Just enough of an angle, but Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire, is the one that makes the call.
So that'll bring up Chris Young. Chris Young's had a big night. 2 doubles, a run scored, and an RBI, and we're only in the 4th inning. Dahl pumps a strike in there. So 28 pitches for Ryan Dahl. Surkamp threw 58 in 2 2/3 innings. To go inside again, 1-1. Chris Young in this series is 5 for 7. He'll be a nice addition to the Red Sox.
Well, it looks like it's a full platoon with Ian Brock Holt in left field, and that's good for him.
Strike 3 called. Another good pitch by Dahl. Side retired, a couple of runners stranded, but also a couple of runs thanks to Dustin Pedroia and his 2-run homer. 6-3 Red Sox.
Tuesday, May the 17th. That's an upcoming homestand. Fans that purchase a special ticket will receive an exclusive A's Korean Heritage Night hat. And it's also a Chevy free parking Tuesday. For tickets and more information, visit athletics.com/Korean today.
Top of the 5th inning from Fenway. A's trailing 6-3. Rick Porcello faces Coghlan, Crisp, and Burns. There's Coghlan singled and scored in the 3rd. Quite a game in Houston today. Another day game. The Astros beat the Indians 5-3 in 16 innings. Marlon Gonzalez hit a 2-run homer to walk things off in the 16th. The Indians scored a run in the 9th to tie that game.
Luke Gregerson gave it up and forced it to go to 16.
It's a lot of baseball. Yeah. Checking time of game there. 5 hours and 9 minutes. The Cleveland Indians used 10 pitchers. 10. Astros used 8.
Pitchers.
It was Salazar, Hunter, Crockett, McAllister, Shaw, Chamberlain, Manship, Allen, Otero, and Anderson.
Well, you got 9 guys in the bullpen.
Plenty of pitchers left. 10 pitchers. Terry Franco.
Wow.
He said everybody up and everybody down to the bullpen. And then you end up losing the game. That's even more frustrating. I think Alfonso Marquez may have missed that pitch.
There was nothing wrong. I mean, it's amazing what Chris Coghlan does when a ball that how his body moves. It's almost like it's distracting the home plate umpire.
Another changeup. Porcello has that pitch working, and the A's are pounding it into the ground. So 4-3 on the putout, and that'll bring up Coco Crisp.
And it comes out of his hand, and when you throw it, when he throws it, and like he did to Josh Reddick, who took it 2-0 a couple of innings ago, then got the same pitch 3-2, comes out of his hand like a fastball, and I think that's what the hitters are swinging at. Now, if Coco bunts this time, that means his decision to bunt every at bat tonight.
He's up to something.
Yeah. But in the first two, first time 3-1, second was a 0-1, gave him a sacrifice.
Swings and misses that time. So the Astros, after that win, are probably getting on the plane right about now, and they will be here at Fenway. Sounds like Lance McCullers is going to come off the disabled list for the Astros and start on Friday night. So that's a big deal for the Astros. They need him back. Talented young right-hander who made his major league debut against the A's. Coco fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Porcello sitting at 76 pitches. Third inning got him a little bit. He has retired 5 in a row.
And that was his max effort right there at 93. That's pretty much it for him. But a lot of movement. Pitch charted inside, trying to bring it out back over the plate. There they are again.
What are they talking about? Are they talking about the ball?
Fraternization. I can't believe it among bat boys, you know, fraternizing.
And Porcello, I'm loving that changeup.
Look at that ball bag. It's been around for 100 years, as long as this stadium's been here. I think that ball bag's.
It arrived with the stadium.
Wow.
Babe Ruth carried that ball bag around.
Break down and buy a new ball bag, guys.
Chris Young comes in and over. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Another extra inning game, and the Mariners won today, 6-5 in 11 innings.
He may never lose again.
No, no, they sweep the Rays. Interesting. The Rays tied that game in the top of the 9th inning. Lost it in 11. So the Mariners have won 8 out of 10 now. And they are 21-13. Chris Archer started for the Rays, so we will not see Chris Archer over the weekend.
That's too bad. He's good. Of course, so is Jake Odorizzi, who the A's will see. And is it Miley?
Wade Miley?
Yeah, I think he's part of it.
Taijuan Walker started that game for the Mariners. He had 9 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, but got a no decision. Hook toward right, and that'll be a hit. So Billy Burns is on base for the 2nd time. So as we head to St. Petersburg and get you ready for that 3-game series, there are the probables: Rich Hill and Jake Odorizzi, followed by Kendall Graveman and Matt Andriese, and then Sonny Gray and Matt Moore. So no Smiley.
That's right. Huh.
So we will have all 3 games for you here on CSN California. A couple of night games and a day game. The A's will come home and see the Texas Rangers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Still have not heard anything about Yu Darvish.
Yeah.
He's getting close. And for the A's, Henderson Alvarez is getting close.
Scheduled on the 20th. I think his clock comes to a halt then, as far as 30 days.
Cole Hamels pitched today, so he'll pitch one of those 3 games next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the Coliseum. 23% changeups. Almost seems like it's been more. A lot of his outs have been on changeups. He's got nice movement on all his pitches.
Well, it'd be nice if Josh Reddick could put one to left field and get it up over the monster. He is capable of driving the ball enough with the power. But you know, we talk about the right fielder and how with Big Papi up, Reddick was playing deep. And now Mookie Betts is playing very shallow in right field, even with the power of Josh Reddick. He's playing what could be considered a normal right field position. And now with 3-1, they employ a shift for Reddick. Shaw on the first base side of second.
There's that movement, but it tails off the plate, and Reddick walks. So 2 walks, 3 strikeouts so far for Porcello, and he's already at 87 pitches. He's had a couple 3-up, 3-down innings in the first and in the fourth. Just getting loose. A couple guys running around out there.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of room to run, about 60 feet. 6 inches. Because those are small bullpens.
Chris Davis swings and misses. Davis has a strikeout and then a 2-out, 2-run single.
You know, the bullpen in right field for the Athletics and the visiting team, you better have a thick skin if you're out there, because those fans are leaning right over. Look how close they are, and they're not afraid to voice their opinions, especially about the visitors.
So they're not going to tell you how good they are, how good you are.
No, no. Chris Davis, a big 2-run single. This coming with a couple of outs. The pitch was supposed to be down and away. It was up and towards the middle of the plate. And Vasquez was asking for the ball, but it was Billy Burns at second. So Chris Davis giving him 18 driven in.
A's need a big hit again from Davis, and that hit him. That pitch that moved so much by Porcello, it came right in on Chris Davis. He'll walk to first.
Just kept running in on him. I think he would have preferred to swing the bat instead of reaching base like this, but it did run in, got him in the left elbow.
You're not just feeling that in your elbow either.
Stomach.
Yeah, that's true. 6 innings in each of his last 14 starts. He's going to have to work to get there tonight. He's at 90 pitches, and we're in the 5th. So here's Vogt. The A's have the bases loaded, 2 outs. Burns at third, Reddick at second, Davis at first, and that one's hit hard right past Mike Eldreddy. Aldo, we like to call him.
Yeah, he's got a store down on Newberry Street.
Aldo's?
It's called Aldo's. He said it's a shoe store. He would know, I guess, because it's his.
Oh, yeah. It's a national chain, Aldo's.
Find a gap, Voldy, and tie the game with 1 swing. Find a gapper and let it roll to the wall. A very, very easy inning started for Porcello with a ground ball to second, a fly ball to left field, and single walk hit batter.
Porcello wanted that pitch. So there is action now. Tommy Lane starts to throw.
Well, for some reason, Alfonso Marquez likes the fastball into the right-handers, but the two-seam fastball to lefties, just not giving it to Porcello. Stephen Vogt happy.
He's got a piece of it, and now the count is 1-2. You just got to know he's going to throw a changeup at some point. Probably been his best pitch tonight. So Vogt's got a battle behind in the count.
There's a teasing fastball. Now a couple of pitches to throw the changeup. I agree with you, Kipe. I mean, that's been his best pitch tonight. You figure he has to throw it eventually.
And it is ripped foul, and it was, velocity says 90 miles an hour. So had to sneak a fastball in there. Everybody okay down there? I hope so. You better be ready in this ballpark if you're sitting, especially the seats down the line.
Hey, when he threw that, it looked like coming out of his hand. It was a changeup because we could see the circle change with the fingers up a little bit.
Two pitch hit toward Pedroia. Pedroia straightens up. Side retired. So Porcello gets out of it, and the A's leave the bases loaded. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Red Sox 6, A's 3.
Right field wall at the Coliseum with the Josh Reddick bobblehead with spinning action presented by Comerica Bank on Saturday, May 28th. 15,000 fans will walk away with a replica, one of the Gold Glover's signature catches. And there it is. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 877-493-BALL. Josh Reddick, who made the papers today, in the A's clips anyway, as a well, not surprising. I mean, club struggled a little bit, so other teams who might be looking for players start throwing out names, and Josh Reddick's name, of course, surfaced about possibly being traded, but I think the A's would love to keep Josh Reddick, who wants to stay with the A's. Let's see if that holds true.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Mark Sepczynski comes in. He pitched last night, 12 pitches. He was not in the game a real long time. He'll face Shaw, Vasquez, and Bradley. Shaw hit by a pitch and scored in the second, and then walked in the third. And there's a shot to right, and that's a base hit. And Travis Shaw singles, and that is hit number 9 for the Red Sox.
Doesn't seem to bother him whether it's a lefty or a righty, and good swing on a 2-0 pitch from the lefty Sepczynski.
He just keeps swinging it.
Yeah. Give the young man a lot of credit, winning the job outright at third base, and also give the Red Sox credit for most Pablo Sandoval on the disabled list with the shoulder surgery, but Henry Trigg starts to get loose in the bullpen. Sometimes you have a player with a huge contract, give him every opportunity, but in the case of Sandoval, even before he had the surgery, he was not going to be the starting third baseman.
First pitch to Vasquez with the runner going. Pitches outside. Nobody covering second base. So Shaw steals it standing up, and a mix-up by the middle infielders of the Athletics.
Unlike third base, a catcher has to throw to the bag. Stephen Vogt did, and I would think it would have been Coghlan who was moving to his left. He was the closest one to second base, but going over late was Semien to keep the ball from going into center field. And then Semien said something to Coghlan, so there was a miscommunication. It looks like it's going to be a stolen base anyway. Got a great jump.
Vasquez, a liner base hit. One hop to Burns. Burns gets it in, hits the cutoff man. First and third, nobody out. We have seen a lot of line drives in this series.
Too many.
You and I talked about it before the game. Man.
Well, and good hitting too. This is right back up the middle, and when you do that, and I think the guys that trust Josh got all the numbers on hits and direction hits, and you see opposite field up the middle. That's good, smart hitting. If you roll over, you try to pull a ball, and you roll over, it's going to be a double play more times than not.
Jackie Bradley, another RBI opportunity for Bradley, and that one on the inside corner for a strike. Last year the Red Sox finished 4th in the American League in runs scored, 748, which is a pretty decent number. Drive to center. Burns hustling back. Burns still going back, and it's over his head. Shaw will score. Vasquez hustling for third. Bradley to second with a booming double, and it's 7-3.
And again, not so great base running as Bradley looked like he was going to tag. Bob Melvin going out after a couple of batters and hanging breaking ball. But Vasquez went back to tag, and he almost had a possibility of the hitter overrunning, passing him. But he should have been near second base and figured the ball was going to carry. It did over the head of Billy Burns. So Vasquez tumbled and stumbled into third base, but a long hit to straightaway center, and another reliever comes in.
So Trigg's coming in. Sepczynski departs. 7-3 Red Sox. tack on another run, and they have a chance to have a big inning. 7-3. They have second and third and nobody out. So Andrew Triggs comes in. He threw 28 pitches in last night's game. And this may be a situation too, right? Maybe Bob Melvin says, let's get through this inning.
Yeah, exactly. And
you have Zach Neal called up as a long reliever. So Surkamp, Dull, Subjinski, and Triggs, and we're only in the 5th inning. And here's Mookie Betts. Infield comes halfway in, and the pitch is outside.
Now this is where Alfonso Marquez really has to stay on the pitch, because Triggs drops down and then kind of crossfires the outside part of the plate. That pitch there, although the bolt was set up inside, did not look like a bad pitch.
That one is a good pitch, and it's a strike. 90 miles an hour. Well, there's certainly some deception in his delivery.
Exactly. That's why Bob Melvin likes him, because of the way he does deliver the ball, and really is not disappointed since he's been brought up here a couple of different times.
Big bouncer. Simeon has it. He thought about coming home. Now he'll go to first. Not in time. Run comes in to score. That's Vasquez to make it 8-3. Marcus Simeon just glanced at third. The runner going in.
Are they going to take a look at it? Yeah, they're going to take a look at it. Melvin said, let's go take a look. And because Simeon unloaded, even though he looked at third, but he unloaded quickly.
He's out. So that'll be changed.
Yeah, there's a little hesitation. The first base umpire going over with the crew chief.
Chris Guccione, the first base umpire, he will go over there with Larry Manover. But it was pretty clear that they got him. Either way, a run comes in to score to make it 8-3.
And you know, from Chris Guccione, it's kind of a delayed, like, oh, you know, and then maybe saw the high chop, knowing the speed of Betts, and
Guccione is watching the.
Yeah, that ball is cleared in his glove before the foot gets down. So,
and umpire, you know what? Hey, if I'm an umpire, I'm going to look up there too.
Yeah. Out.
And he's out. So the call is corrected.
And he gets an RBI. Good call by Adam Roden to Bob Melvin, Mark Kotsay, and
so 1 out now. Bradley is at third, so the infield will stay in. Give Betts his 20th RBI. And here's Dustin Pedroia.
well, the one thing about the runner scoring, he was going on contact, and I would think runner at third right now in Bradley would go on contact as well. He has more speed than Vasquez to score, but really by seeing the high chop off the bat, then if you come down the line like you're supposed to at third base, once the ball hits like that and you're going on contact, you take off towards the plate, the ball hitting the ground. You know, okay, there's not a lot of catchers going to throw to third base, try to pick a guy, so he can come down the line. It's a good pitch outside as Pedroia opened up and the ball just kept running away from him. The runner comes down the line at third base. You come down in foul territory to avoid being hit and being out. Once the ball passes the plate, you go back to the bag in fair territory in case the catcher throws, which again they don't.
Triggs has it. He'll come home, and they got him. So Bradley was indeed running on contact. And Triggs made a nice play. Vogt with the tag, and he's cut down that runner.
Well, there's no panic in Andrew Triggs on that play. And he could see the runner coming down the line. He fell off a little bit to his left, stopped himself, made a good throw. Stephen Vogt with a good tag. And the sliding Bradley tried to go around the tag. But very nicely done by Triggs, as there's the tag applied to the number 25 on the back of the uniform.
Well, we've seen plays like that where the pitcher just panics a little bit and rushes. And he really did not do that.
Yeah,
He took his time and he made sure he Made a good throw, and he had plenty of time. So Pedroia aboard on the fielder's choice, and Bogaerts hits 2 outs. 2 runs in here in the 5th. There's that good slider. Keeping it down there, 1-1. So are you a believer, Ray, in that theory that in your bullpen you should have as many different looks as you can? Because most bullpens now have the slider guy, right-hander,
right?
Maybe 3/4 delivery, kind of like Triggs.
No,
see a lot of those guys.
Exactly, and remember Mike Myers, a lefty with the Tigers. Now he's worked for the association. It was Al Kaline who told him, he says, you know, you're going to be a lot better if you drop down. He dropped down. He got a lot of years in the big leagues because of a change of direction. So, you know, it's if you have a different look, you're going to have success because it's not going to be the same coming in all the time. And managers like it, pitching coaches like it. Stephen Vogt likes to move to his right and turn the glove up. And caught it. He could have backhanded that one very nicely, but he used his catcher's mitt, able to scoop it.
Bogaerts is 2 for 3. 2 singles and a strikeout. Bounces that one toward Alonso. Goes down to a knee. And then his throw is a little late. And it'll be a hit for Bogaerts. Alonso just juggled it a little bit after he went down to a knee to make the play.
Well, that's where the hustle of Pedroia going into second base. And Alonso could not go the short route to second. And if he had not left his feet, maybe that would have been the case. But once that happened, even if he'd come up with a cleanly bobbled a little bit coming out of his glove in the transfer. But at that point, once he went to the ground, Bogaerts runs too well, and it's going to be an infield hit. Just so Trace could face Big Puck.
Ortiz, a fly ball to right, a walk, and a single. He blooped a single to right field in the 4th inning. Red Sox have scored in every inning except the 1st. They've had numerous base runners in every inning. There's our buddy sitting with Kevin Millar. Swing and a miss. Ortiz tied with Ernie Banks and Eddie Matthews. Couple of great sluggers. And chasing Ted Williams and Frank Thomas.
Ernie Banks his whole career with the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Never sniffed the World Series.
Pretty good group there. 600 doubles and 500 home runs in a career. Only 3 players have done it, and Ortiz is one of them. Bonds and Hank Aaron. I'm sorry, 598 doubles, so he'll join that list soon, and it is a very, very short list. Bonds just snuck over with 601. David Ortiz has peppered that green monster many a time in his career.
He has.
He's had a few singles off the green monster too.
Well, and couldn't score from first on Chris Young's double off the monster. But if you could just get very close and just keep going close, you see a lot of dents in there from a lot of singles that could have been home runs.
Yeah, they're not fixing those dents after every year. Those dents have been there for a long, long time. So 3-2, 2 outs, and Pedroia and Bogaerts will take off. This is a good time to make sure you're on the same page.
Well, they did it when Surkamp was pitching, and the curveball thrown to Chris Young, unfortunately, was not thrown with a lot of conviction. Left it up, and he hit it off the wall. Stephen Vogt could have said, "Give me your best shot. If you're walking, don't worry about it. Take a chance with the guy in the on-deck circle."
Here it is. And it's just a touch outside, and he walked it. Well, Triggs made a pretty good pitch. Off the plate a little bit.
Well, in case the runner at second base, Pedroia, is going to pass along a location to David Ortiz, Stephen Vogt set up inside, then quickly moved outside. And a lot of times, although it's not done a lot, if a hitter can get location, you'd rather have location instead of the actual pitch, because you can determine on the location what the pitch is going to be.
First pitch to Hanley Ramirez is lined toward the gap, and that's nothing but trouble. 1 run scores. Bogarts will score. Ortiz digging to third. He'll stop there. Ramirez with a 2-run double, and it's 10-3. So Ramirez picks up RBIs 20 and 21.
Look at the location of this pitch. Left the slider up in the zone, inner half of the plate, and if you're going to throw the slider like that, it's got to be really away from the right-handed hitter. Don't leave it in where he can do that. But if the Red Sox, and with David Ortiz, although not intentionally walked but pitched carefully to him, Ramirez can make a huge difference as far as what teams try to do with David Ortiz, and pitched him carefully. Ramirez comes through with a big double.
9th man to bat in the inning, and it's Chris Young. And Young swings and misses at a fastball from Triggs. So 4 runs here in the 5th for the Red Sox.
That is the 4th consecutive game now, double figures in runs the A's pitchers have given up. 10 runs tonight, of course, going back to Sunday's game in Baltimore.
48 runs allowed in the last 4 games.
Counting tonight, 48. Plays havoc on an earned run average.
0-1 pitch is popped up to left. Chris Davis is under it. He's got it side retired. So 4 runs on 5 hits for the Red Sox. It's now 10-3 after 5. News for the Bay Area fan. Know it all with Sportsnet Central. It's all brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30, and it's on CSN Bay Area. Get you all ready for Game 5, Blazers and Warriors. Let's just wrap that one up
right now.
Get rid of the Blazers. Move on to the next round. Monty Poole will have post-game Warrior notes. The Sharks get ready for their Game 7 matchup. Net-free Dave Heldman will host. They'll be at Oracle. So that is coming up tonight. Warriors trying to move on.
What'd you say about Porcello in 6 innings?
Well, actually, what a play. One of the best we've seen all year. And that was Xander Bogaerts.
Well, they had Billy Butler running, but the fact that he was able to make the play, look at the accuracy into shallow left field, jumps and a perfect throw, and it gets Billy Butler by 10 feet. But to be able to make a throw like that with the accuracy, that's an exceptional play. And Brian Butterfield helped Derek Jeter. Jeter made that play all the time. Xander Bogaerts made it a little bit better that one, especially with as much as he got on the play, on the throw.
There's Alonso. Changeup slips out of the hands of Porcello. Alonso an RBI double in the 2nd, and then a fly ball to right field in the 4th.
Things look good then. Top of the 2nd. Things look good in the 3rd when Chris Davis tied it with a 2-run single or double.
In first strike. The Cardinals and the Angels will play game 2 of their series tonight. Get started in about 45 minutes. Lefty Garcia for the Cards, Shoemaker for the Angels. Nice play by Ramirez. And he'll flip to Porcello. That's a nice play.
Well, if Porcello's trying to get 6 innings and now 15 consecutive starts, he's on his way, especially with the Red Sox adding 4 last inning. 7-run lead. Porcello covered in the bag after a nice play by Henry Ramirez, who has turned into a very good first baseman. So Dave Dombrowski, the president, was spot on when he told his staff, work him out at first. He looks good there, and he has shown that in this series.
One and 0 to Marcus Semien. So 102 pitches now for Porcello. And it's 1-1. The most he has thrown this year is 111. He's thrown 102 in each of his last 2 starts. That's Matt Barnes, the right-hander. Headed toward the seats, and it will in amongst the crowd. So 1-2 the count.
Here he is.
It's Zach Neal.
You know, he's gonna make his debut tonight. And as you appropriately said, get through the 6th inning. Unfortunately, it's a 4-run or 5th inning, that is. A 4-run 5th inning. Get through and let Neal throw some innings, and he may get the opportunity.
Semien tonight has struck out and grounded to 2nd. So he is 0 for 2 tonight and 2 for 10 in the series, and that is at the knees on the inside corner, and that's a good inning for Porcello with quite a bit of help from his infield defense. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Red Sox 10, A's 3.
on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota. It's Toyota time for big savings on legendary Toyota quality. Take a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
So the Red Sox leading 10-3. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, and we have a major league debut. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. And there is Zach Neal. The numbers from AAA, where he was a starter, pitching out of the bullpen. And his first pitch as a big leaguer.
Slider in the dirt. First strike.
Swinging strike.
And that ball thrown into the dugout. First pitch, first strike. Save it. Zach Neal, just as he said, 2 and 4 seam fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Oh, Steven out. Just another one. I don't know what Alyssa has to do with Stephen Vogt in the offseason. Provide all the ice bags that he gets on during the regular season. That's on the back of the left hand as he reached out. Watch a foul, comes off.
So the count remains 0-2. Zach Neal is 27 years old. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. Lives in Flower Mound, Texas, and he went to the University of Oklahoma. He was born in Nashville, Tennessee. Skied to left center, shallow. And it's going to be Chris Davis who makes the catch.
Okay,
so first out.
And the A's come back next season. This is the last trip, and after these 3 games, it's fortunate, but there will be another number retired by the Red Sox. Number 26, Wade Boggs. Number's going to be retired. And there was some question. It was a little bit disappointed that it had not been retired, of course, in the Hall of Fame, and so it will go up on that retired section in right field, number 26, on I think the 26th day of this month of May. Wade Boggs, who was touched dearly during the offseason when it was announced. Brock Holt had been wearing number 26 the last 3 years. And at their Winter Fan Fest, they announced it, and Brock Holt brought the jersey out, gave it to Wade Boggs, said it will never be worn again. Nice. So that's very nice. And talk about somebody who could take advantage of this ballpark. Wade Boggs could. You talk about going to left field off the Green Monster. Wade Boggs could do that as well as anybody. And he'd foul off tough pitches. He'd win batting championships. And he said he was Moneyball before Moneyball, because he reached base every year with walks and hits. And that the Hall of Famer will have his number retired. Stephen Vogt is just wearing it. Seems like every foul ball is going to find a way to get it.
So 2-1 the count to Vasquez, the catcher. There's a shot down the right field line. Picked up by Reddick, and Vasquez has his second hit. One out double. So he made a mistake. Zach Neal was born in Columbia, South Carolina, not Nashville, Tennessee. And we want to make sure we correct that mistake and let you know again. That was his birthplace. He lives in Flower Mound, Texas.
Stephen,
you know what? I would want my correct birthplace put up there. You would want Marion, Illinois. Wonderful town of Marion, Illinois.
Where was yours?
Racine, Wisconsin.
Okay.
That's right.
Jeez,
I don't have a park named after me. Like Ray Fosse Park with AstroTurf and lights and
no AstroTurf.
Full grounds crew and a tarp. All for the little leaguers in Marion, Illinois. 0-1 to Jackie Bradley. Miles an hour from Zach Neal. Neal was originally with the Florida Marlins organization. He was drafted by Florida in the 17th round in 2010. And then he was released in 2013 and signed with the Athletics. So this is his 4th year with the A's.
Well, Steve Scarsone, the manager of the AAA Nashville Sounds, has had a thrill this year, being able to call guys in and saying, you go to the big leagues. He's probably been able to have too big of a thrill to call so many guys in, because that's kind of the way it's been for the A's. Calling up pitcher after pitcher and position players.
So Stephen Vogt will try to get Neal his first strikeout, and he does. So Jackie Bradley strikes out. That's a thrill for Zach Neal.
And that ball goes to the dugout also. So a couple of baseballs. First pitch strike, first strikeout. And Stephen Vogt, a nice job of blocking this ball, keeping it close to him, because Vasquez could not advance to third. And not only that, but Vogt are able to get to the ball quickly over the head of the runner going down the line and get the strikeout. Saying Stephen immediately, he's thinking about his pitch. He said, give me the ball, throw it in. I want to give it to the A's dugout.
Well, the story I read, Rick Rodriguez, who Rick was on the big league staff for a while for the A's. He's the pitching coach for AAA Nashville, and he said to Zach Neal, how would you like to pitch out of the bullpen? So I was like, well, okay, whatever you need. How would you like to pitch out of the bullpen at Fenway Park?
Yeah, that's
bingo.
good.
Get on a plane.
So you're saying Steve Scarsone had called up enough guys that he decided to go to Rick Rodriguez?
He gave the thrill to Rick Rodriguez.
But that's a good one. Yeah, you're a starting pitcher, but I want you to pitch out of the bullpen. And do it at Fenway. What a thrill. He was out front and center. And he probably thought the IT group was there to see him today, because they were down just beyond the A's dugout with Millar and
intentional talk.
Yeah,
from the MLB network.
Yeah, they were there, and all of a sudden Zach goes out and says, hey, you need me? I'm available.
Off the glove of Stephen Vogt, and that probably be a pass ball. It was not in the dirt.
He just blocked one, get the strikeout, and then you can imagine Stephen Vogt, and this to me is always something. He probably introduced himself to Zach Neal out on the mound, although he saw him in the clubhouse. But you don't know. You can't warm him up in the bullpen if you're the starting catcher, and I don't remember him being in spring training. So if this is that's the case, then Stephen Vogt's seen it for the first time. So any movement like that, and it's not that easy to catch somebody you've never caught before.
So 1-2 the count to Mookie Betts, who is 1 for 4 with a single, a run scored, and an RBI. Hit hard, and that'll get through into center field, and that's going to get another run home. 11-3 Red Sox. Mookie Betts has his second hit.
Well, with the ball up the middle, the run was going to score from second anyway. Did advance to third on the pass ball, and hanging slider. There have been too many of those hangers tonight. And when you see a hanger stay in the middle of the plate, Pedroia hit a slider. Wow, franchise history.
That's too long.
And when you're talking franchise, that's going Philadelphia too, and that's not good.
There's a strike to Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah, that's right. Kansas City. Didn't happen in Kansas City, and it happened in Oakland. That's not good, because Kansas City was farm club.
Not a great 11 years.
Yeah, farm club for the New York Yankees.
Down the right field line, and it is foul.
Well, that's the old dubious record, as they call it.
That would be dubious.
Yeah, you don't want those.
So Neal ahead 0-2. Fastball high as Pedroia thought about going after it. Pedroia's had a big night. He is 1 for 3. That one hit was a 2-run homer. He has scored 3 runs.
Well, the hanging slider he hit for Ryan Dahl. He has been pitching very, very well for the Athletics. Dahl has, but he hung one to him.
Ball bounces away from Vogt.
It was a secondary lead by Betts, and he was off a long way. So once the ball hit the dirt, he could walk into second base.
So this is a frustrating night for Stephen Vogt.
He's going to need the off day tomorrow. He's going back to the original organization when he began. He's upset that he didn't block it, keep it close enough to him.
So Betts now at second, 2-2. And that's a nice play. So a full count.
The bus probably will leave 2 hours after the game tonight, just so Voter can get in the cold tub, the ice.
You need a cold tub on the plane.
Something.
2 pitches hit high in the air left center. Burns gets back there. He's got plenty of room, and he makes the catch. So a run on 2 hits for the Red Sox, and we're moving to the 7th inning from Fenway, 11-3 Boston.
Today offer is back again for 2016. The season jersey is a 1989 Dennis Eckersley replica. Purchase a group of 25 or more in the field level on select games, and everyone in your group will receive one. You can book your group jersey day outing by calling 510-638-GOAZE or by visiting athletics.com/jersey.
Porcello back out there, sitting at 105 pitches. His first pitch to Coghlan a bit high. Coghlan is 1 for 2. Single and a ground out. He scored a run. He's with 1 run in the second and 2 in the third. And he can get another hit. Lines one up the middle. So after a prolonged slump, Chris Coghlan starting to swing it. He's 5 for 10 in this series.
Well, Porcello has a big lead. He's one right in the middle of the plate. Chris Coghlan back over the mound. And that is a thing of beauty again, but I think from John Farrell's standpoint, and Rick Porcello is back out for the 7th. So Monday night when Clay Buchholz was a little upset, he just went 5 innings and surprised he didn't go back out for the 6th. we might still be playing that game if he had.
That's a high strike. So 0-1 to Coco Crisp, who's 0 for 2 in a sac bunt back in the third. High pop up into the seats. Coco spent some time in a Red Sox uniform. I think he won a World Series here.
You see that?
They called up Ellsbury.
They moved him to left.
And they moved Coco to left.
That's right. Put Ellsbury's
rookie year.
Yeah.
So Coco knows all about this ballpark, and he's got a World Series ring to show for it. 2007.
That was a great year. 271 with 21, 137 runs. Oh, that's a couple years though. 3 years. 70 stolen bases. Now he was a good Red Sox. And he's played all 3 games. Started in center, then DH the last couple games. So Bob Melvin put in the former Bostonian in the lineup. Well, they won at 04 and then 7 and 13.
Nice run. And that one coming back on the inside corner, and Coco's called out.
Finally called it. I've been wondering when he was going to, and this time he does. Look at the movement of this two-seam fastball. I don't know if Coco agreed with Alfonso Marquez, but it is a pitch that when pitchers are able to throw it, you get that kind of movement, they usually are going to freeze the hitter.
What do we say, Ray? That hitters have not swung at that pitch in 100 years.
Nope. Not as long as they've been throwing it, and at least 100.
First pitch to Burns is on the outside corner at the knees. So it's a season high in pitches for Rick Porcello. 112. So he's trying to pick up his 6th win of the year.
In an era of which pitchers, especially pitchers, are protected and pitch counts are so important, this is good to see a pitcher extending himself. And it could be to the point that he said to his pitching coach Carl Wilson, manager, let me go out. I can give you 7. And I'm sure they are appreciative of the effort by Rick Porcello.
Two-one delivery to Burns, and he lines it in a one-hop. Nice play by Bogarts. Out at second, Pedroia to first. Not in time, but nice play by Xander Bogarts. So he's showing some range tonight at shortstop.
Well, he's not going to let him face Reddick after a good play by Bogarts. He could not turn 2 to get out of the inning. Too much speed with Billy Burns, so Porcello will get a nice round of applause from the hometown crowd as they almost turned 2. Without the speed of Billy Burns, they might have.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Scherzer, nice job tonight, 6 2/3 innings. A major league record 20 strikeouts in a complete game win over his former team, the Detroit Tigers. 6 hits, no walks, 20 strikeouts, and look at the strike to ball ratio.
Amazing.
119 pitches, 96 strikes, 23 balls. So he joins Clemens, Johnson, and Kerry Wood, 20 strikeouts in a game, and he had a chance to do it. Brian McCann, the last hitter for, or James McCann, I'm sorry,
Catcher,
James
yeah.
McCann, catcher for the Tigers, grounded out to third, and that did it. So as we went to break, I said, nice performance tonight by Max Scherzer as Porcello walked off the mound. That's my excuse.
6 2/3.
I was.
That's pretty good. You strike out 20 in 6 2/3.
So I apologize to Rick Porcello, but I was looking down at the line of Max Scherzer, 20 strikeouts tonight. So.
That's impressive. Clemens did it, as we showed in the graphic, twice.
Yeah.
And Kerry Wood did it, I think, in his rookie season in Chicago. Clemens did it once here. And I think, I want to say, in a game here, that Don Baylor dropped a ball and kept the hitter alive, and he struck out a batter. That kind of rings a bell or something like that. And Baylor was with the Red Sox. But 20 strikeouts. Now 6 2/3 innings, that would be 20 batters, 20 outs. So Scherzer could have struck. No. But 9 innings, to throw only 23 out of the strike zone.
Well, that's the second most amazing number after
exactly.
20 strikeouts. And Reddick swings and misses. So Tommy Lane comes in, does his job, gets Reddick side retired. So the A's strand a runner, 7th inning stretch from Fenway coming up. It's the Red Sox 11 and the A's 3.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Bottom of the 7th, Red Sox trying to sweep the A's. They lead 11-3. 11-15-0 for Boston, 3-6-0 for the A's. And Zach Neal will go out there for his 2nd inning of work. Gave up a run in his 1st inning of work as a major leaguer.
You know, Neal upstairs has got a brilliant mind. He just reminded us that the night that Roger Clemens struck out 20, Don Baylor did drop a ball in about the 6th inning with Gorman Thomas hitting, and he was able to strike him out. But the important thing there, he said, his rating out about 13,000 here. There were more people at the Garden watching the Celtics play. Of course, in '86, the Celtics was pretty good.
Koji Uehara, not seen him in this series. Now, Leo, our stat man here in Boston, knows a little bit about all the Boston sports. This one may come in our booth. Nope, a little shy. So 0-2 to Bogaerts. He'll be followed by Ortiz and Ramirez here in the 7th inning. So the big news, Max Scherzer with his 20 strikeouts, tying a major league record.
A lot of similarities. Kerry Wood, of course, as a youngster pitching for the Cubs, he had an unbelievable slider, and that's one of the better pitches from that Max Scherzer throws. I'm sure there are a lot of American League hitters happy he's in the National League pitching for the Nationals.
Bogaerts strikes out. Second strikeout for Neal.
And a good slider and good downward tilt on the slider to get the strikeout.
So here's Ortiz. So fun challenge for the youngster Zach Neal. Ortiz is 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Skips out of the way. That did not hit him.
He better move a little quicker because he kind of stayed in as the slider kept boring in on his back foot. Just kind of stood, and all of a sudden there goes the foot. And there's the slider. He didn't move. Ended up hitting the umpire's right shin guard.
Strike called. 1-1 the count. Alonso playing right at the shortstop position, and now it's 1-2. There's the David Ortiz shift.
Well, didn't we show a graphic on the getting this trip about they shift more for David Ortiz than any hitter in baseball?
He's number 1. It's this one high and foul. So just ahead of Chris Davis. Colby Rasmus, third on the list.
Dude is twice. So good. But you think about, they shift on David Ortiz and Chris Davis every at bat.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So it's just a matter of cumulative as far as it could be an off day for a team, and then one or the other takes over.
Exactly.
Because they're going to shift on all the time.
And he rips one toward right, and Reddick on the move grabs it.
Well, he hit over the shift.
2 outs here in the 7th for Hanley Ramirez. He's hanging in there.
Yes, he is. Late night for him.
Maverick. That's his first name. I stand with the Washington Nationals theme. See where Bryce Harper did get suspended 1 game.
Just one?
They announced it. As we talked about he's
lucky.
His act, and he pulled a couple nights ago.
Well, I say lucky because normally an ejection at times will be a suspension depending what happens. If it's just a normal ejection, but
suspended 1 game.
1 game for all that. That's pretty good.
And he was fined, and he will appeal, so he can play until the final decision is rendered. Most of the players do appeal, or they appeal and then they wait till they need a day off and then they drop the appeal.
Because if it's a 3 or 4 game suspension or more than 1, they usually appeal it to try to get it reduced. But how do you reduce 1?
Yeah, I'm surprised it was only 1.
I agree. I mean, they gave Chase Utley 2 for sliding into second last year in the postseason.
Simeon fires to first, and a good inning for Zach Neal. 3 up, 3 down. We're moving to the 8th. It's the Red Sox with an 11-3 lead.
Friday family pack right there. You're looking at it. And what's better than that? Taking your family to the ballpark on a Friday night with the Friday family pack. Get 4 Plaza level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, 4 bags of peanuts, just $60 at every Friday home game. Buy now at athletics.com/family pack. Subject to availability. You know, that family of 4 would love to have a family of 4 pack here on a Friday night at Fenway. It might cost you $1,000 normally. You get it for $60, take it. So that is a sweetheart deal at the Coliseum on Friday night, family pack. All that for $60, and can't beat it because you think about what they charge for tickets here. Whew. If anybody's watching that coming to Fenway, they'd love to have it.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. First time in this series for Koji Uehara. So Uehara has done a lot of good things in a Red Sox bullpen over the years. This is his 4th year here in Boston. Remember, he was with the Texas Rangers for a while and then traded. First pitch, he bounces off the mound, flips it to first. Chris Davis is out, 1 out. Also got some moves on the infield. Travis Shaw moves over to third. Now Josh Rutledge is at third, and Brock Holt is the shortstop. So Rutledge at third, Holt at short, Shaw at first. Koji Uehara started with the Baltimore Orioles, and he was with the Orioles for 3 years, and then in that 3rd year, right at the trade deadline, the Orioles traded him to the Texas Rangers, and the guy they got back was Chris Davis. So Chris Davis went from Texas to Baltimore for Koji Uehara. How about that?
Uehara has been, like you said, great in the World Championship. He had probably the highlight was his son on the dais.
That's right.
But how about this in 2014? Remember the 9th inning? Stephen Vogt and John Jaso. Home run. Back-to-back tied the game against Uehara. But then, unfortunately, David Ortiz hit a ball to left center for a home run to win it in the extra inning. But Uehara went back out and closed it out. It was Fernando Abad with a slider to left center field. But how about Eric Sogard took him deep? He owns him.
Butler drives one toward right, and Betts has it. No 2 outs. Vote aboard. Now Yonder Alonso will hit. Uehara last year 25 saves. 2014 26 saves.
And now he won't get any saves, probably with Kimbrel. But he'll be a setup, pretty good setup man for John Farrell.
Spent 10 years in Japan.
There is the closer, Kimbrel. Bobby Ross with a wonderful hairdo next to him.
Alonso swings and misses. Uehara now 41 years old.
But especially pitched for he and Tazawa, the split finger fastball, and of course Uehara used it very well as a closer. I want to say in the presentation of the World Series, Uehara needed an interpreter, but his son didn't.
Possible.
I mean, he was answering all the questions, and his dad had an interpreter, a Japanese interpreter. And there he is.
Oh, we had that with Cespedes.
That's right. Mario Prieto. Prieto said, I hope he never learns English so I can keep my job.
Right. Hideki Matsui.
Matsui, that's right.
Roger Nisa.
That's right.
Nisa was like his media relations guy. We're talking about Matsui.
I wonder if he ever got the ball hit down the right field line at Comerica Park, where the guy was trying to.
That's right. The guy was being difficult.
Hostage.
So Alonso strikes out, side retired in the bottom of the 8th. Coming up, 11-3 Boston.
Now that's either an A's fan or a Red Sox fan in an A's uniform, but he got caught up in the Sweet Caroline in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Every bottom of the 8th, you're at Fenway. They sing Sweet Caroline, and the fans love it. They've been doing it for a long time.
And they all leave now when they're finished that. They all go home.
They sing their hearts out and then take off. Gotta go.
Gotta go. Yeah, so we sang our song. Now we beat the traffic, which is hard to do around here.
Yeah, it's a little crowded and a little cramped around Fenway Park. They squeeze them in here. There's really not a lot of parking. I mean, there's hardly any parking at all. But although I do think people somehow find some parking.
And you're paid dearly for it if you do find it.
Foul just to our right by Chris Young.
You talked about when this stadium opened, and those seats that were in the stadium were built for people in that era.
Smaller.
Much smaller.
Yes.
And you know, you only have so many seats in it. They replaced the seats, but they didn't make them bigger. If you make them bigger, you lose capacity.
That's exactly right.
So they made them the same size, and they still had probably the only stadium has an obstructed view, where you have the post.
Yeah, the posts are maybe Wrigley. I don't know if Wrigley has posts. Probably.
The new stadiums, you don't have it. There's a good post. I'd like to have a seat right behind where those people are sitting. Section 31 and 32.
Yeah, but if there was open seats around me, I'd probably just get up and move.
But this is the only time you have open seating, is after they play Sweet Caroline.
Well, if you were to walk through the seats, or I mean, last night we get on the bus, you have to go out really right by right field, and I walked out there, wanted to see the bullpens, and if you look at the actual seats, I mean, I'm saying 12, 13 inches wide.
Exactly.
Not a lot more than that. So they are squeezed in here.
And see that there's people peeking around the post. They see they should move because they've seats have vacated. Just move around, and the usher should let them.
Opened in 1912. He's fine right there. Not moving. It's played by Butler, underhands. Neal is there, 2 outs. 6 in a row retired by Zach Neal, so he's trying to finish strong.
What a story.
He's going to make Bob Melvin happy, that's for sure.
Oh, sure.
He can get a reliever in what is a tough stretch for the starters to go 3 innings the night before an off day. I think the manager says thank you very much.
Well, I think I'm going to have to redo our Nissan keys to the game because I talked about the starting pitcher and winning before an off day.
Well,
so
it's been a tough stretch for you too with your keys to the game. You just keep trying.
A's are going to win tomorrow, though.
That's right. Headed to St. Pete. Get ready to take on the Rays. Rays lost today.
And they've been flying since we've been here.
Yeah, they're be in the air.
They're either there or we'll catch them on the way.
It's Matt Barnes flying from Seattle. There's a shot toward left field. Davis will play it on the green monster. It bangs off the monster and comes right to Davis in the air. So if you're into the baseball hitting the metal monster, here it is.
Wow. That's some sound effects there. How'd you do? I hit a ball off the green monster and I got a single, but it made a loud sound. That was loud.
Sounds like a golf ball hitting a metal shed.
Cap, I remember in '75 against the Red Sox in League Championship Series, the A's lost 3 straight, but Sal Bando had to hit 4 or 5 off the wall. That would have been home runs to the Coliseum. They just kept peppering it. Jim Rice played the ball off the wall, throw it back in.
Hold him to a single.
Yeah. But as great as the monster wall is, 37 high, and you get some hits, it also can take away some home runs.
0-2 to Jackie Bradley. A's have had all kinds of trouble with Jackie Bradley in this series. Tonight he's 2 for 4. So that makes him 7 for 13.
Hitting nice.
With 11 RBIs in this series, and he's batting 9. 11 runs batted in.
Well, I have mentioned the name Butch Hobson, who played third base following Rico Petrocelli, and Hobson hit down in the batting order, 28 home runs one year, 30 another, hitting 7th, 8th, or 9th. And sometimes you just leave a guy there, and I'm sure John Farrell's going to leave Bradley. He's got speed of Betts at the top, Bradley at the bottom. So speed alone helps them, but getting the production with the home runs. Get off home run last night by Betts, and Bradley a grand slam.
Plus, too, Ray, I think if you're a young player and you're having success in a spot, leave him there.
Exactly. It's like Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
Marcus has been down.
He's fine there.
Yeah. And that way, I mean, they start putting hitters into so-called RBI situations, you know, in the middle part of the batting order.
That one's hit well. Reddick to the wall, and Bradley's done it again. Six RBIs in the game for Jackie Bradley. Looked like a breaking ball.
Yes, you know, very quickly 2 outs, and then base hit, sounded off the wall, and then this pitch, breaking ball, and just laid right into his wheelhouse, and a 1-2 slider that was a hanger, and Josh Reddick just no chance. Reddick just ran out of room, and reliever trying to catch it. Robbie Ross, what do you know? Take his cap off, put it back on.
13 RBIs in this series for Jackie Bradley. So 13 runs tonight for the Red Sox. And the struggles of the pitching staff for the A's, it just goes on and on. So 2-0 the count to Betts. Not close. 3-0.
If you think about Bradley and his ability to play center, we saw the throw last night. Just his defense alone.
Yeah.
And then add that kind of offensive production.
And his speed, he could hit 250 and be an important player.
Well, we were in Baltimore, talked about the very tough Eastern Division, and we've seen it. And matter of fact, last road trip, that man doesn't like it, Bob Melvin. We saw the Yankees and the Blue Jays, and then in this trip, seeing the Orioles, the Red Sox, and the Tampa Bay Rays. All those 5 teams, the A's will have traveled to those 5 cities by the end of this week, which means no more. And I think, thankfully, don't have to come back here anymore, at least this year.
40 runs allowed in this series, an Oakland record for most runs allowed in a 3-game set. 3-1 pitch is dribbled back to the mound. Side retired. Jackie Bradley, he caps off his big series with a 2-run homer. So it's 13-3 the Red Sox lead. (13-3). Making Ted Williams proud. Is his seat available tonight, Ray?
There it is.
Yeah. So he hit a home run there, right? That's how far it is.
Well, some say that seat's moved up.
Every year it goes up, huh?
But
makes the story better.
Yeah, but I believe he could hit it up there. And there it is. There it is. You can see it.
So it's not moved. Maybe they move it up every series or like every month. Yeah, it looks higher than it was last year. No, we're just joking. Red Sox wouldn't do that.
No, of course not. Just like they wouldn't play with the radar guns.
So the new pitcher is Matt Barnes. So Matt Barnes will face Simeon, Coughlin, and Crisp. First pitch, foul back. So for Barnes, his 14th appearance. 16 hits and 8 walks in 16 innings pitched. Tapped slowly toward third. Reckless charges, throws on the run, and another nice play. Well, the Red Sox have really showed off their defense tonight. Mostly on the infield. Simeon thought maybe he was going to have himself an infield hit.
Well, you definitely don't think about a bunt if you're an infielder in this situation, and Rutledge was playing back in a normal position.
So 1 away for Coughlin. So we'll be back with you on Friday from St. Petersburg. Rich Hill and Jake Odorizzi in game 1 of that series. Back in the Bay Area, we will come your way at 3:30 with A's pregame live, and then first pitch scheduled for 4:10. So we'll be indoors.
And they will not be playing Sweet Carolina in the bottom of the 8th inning. But it will be indoors and all weekend indoors. Rays have been outdoors on this road trip. They will be returning home.
Coughlin's got a couple of hits tonight, 2 singles, and he has scored a one. Taken all the way, and that's in the first strike.
At one time, this game was tied 3-3. But since that 3rd inning, it's been all Red Sox.
A little high, 3-1, 97 miles an hour from Barnes. And there's the walk. Coughlin's aboard for the 3rd time tonight. And Barnes was the Red Sox #1 draft pick back in 2011. These couple of years he has split time between AAA and the big leagues. And as we've seen, he's got a live arm, upper 90s. A little high, 97 miles an hour. He's from this area, Danbury, Connecticut. Missed again.
Vasquez threw it back 95.
Yeah, he's not happy. Although showing up your pitcher may not be the smartest thing to do.
And
I mean, it is 13-3.
Especially if the pitcher just lets it go by and goes into center field.
Driven towards center, and Bradley is there. Porto hit it well. So 2 away here in the 9th, and it'll be up to Billy Burns. I think if you're a rookie catcher, probably not necessary to do that.
Matter of fact, the look from John Farrell kind of set it off.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he was. You'd rather see a catcher go out and say to the pitcher, "Come on, throw strikes."
There
you got
go.
a 10-run lead, throw strikes.
Bounced in the hole, and it scoops off the glove of Holt. So Billy Burns will have a hit. He's got a couple of hits tonight. One, or make it 2 for 4.
Well, even if Holt had come up with it, the only chance he has maybe going to second base, but even that might have been difficult with Coughlin on the move. Billy Burns will take it.
Josh Reddick will not hit. It'll be Tyler Ladendorf. So Ladendorf pinch hitting here in the 9th. First pitch. Fastball, 4 strike to Latendorf. Over 33,000 tonight.
Most of them gone.
Good share have headed out. Curve stays a little bit inside.
But the additional attendance was because in center field they didn't put the tarp up because of night games. Daytime they tarp center field for the batter's eye, but all 3 night games the center field area has been sold to fans.
That's those 2 sections out in center field. I don't know how many seats there are, but those 2 right there.
Yeah.
Day game, there's tarps over there.
Yeah. And you had big unit pitching coming out of those, and that's why they decided to better tarp them, because hitters could not see, especially with a tall pitcher.
1-2 pitch is rolled foul.
I wanted to think Mike Greenwell was hit because he couldn't see the ball.
That's right.
And
that the pitcher would.
It might have been Johnson, because he was so tall at 6'11". You can imagine the heights coming out of those seats when they had people on during day games, and they just said no way to do it, because the hitters can't see it, especially if Joey Guy is going to do something about it. They just charge more for the other people.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and a very forgettable series for the Oakland A's comes to an end. And I think the boys need a day off, and so do we. And we will get that in St. Petersburg, but a very difficult series comes to an end, and the Red Sox blow out the A's 13-3. The game